All right, last but not least is cardiac power intervals. Now, cardiac power intervals are the highest intensity method that we have, simply because we're trying to drive our heart rate to maximum or as close to maximum as we can get. Now, just like the threshold method, I'm not going to be controlling the speed. I'm letting the athlete learn how to control speed and go up to their maximum heart rate. Now, in order to get to these high levels of heart rate, you're going to have to use total body exercises. So realistically, sprinting, the Versa climber, maybe a Jacob's ladder, sport-specific exercises. If your sports use heart rates to get to the maximum, that's only really the way you're going to do it. So after a thorough warm-up, all you're going to do is let the athlete gradually increase their heart rate by adding their speed and watching their heart rate climb up. Again, our goal here is to get to maximum or as close to maximum as possible. Now, as a coach, what I want to be looking for is how their technique and their mechanics change their fatigue. And instead of telling them to go harder, go harder, go harder, my job is to coach their mechanics. So if I was to see his mechanics change or see him fatigue and have poor technique, I would be trying to coach those things and letting him take care of the intensity himself. So as you can see, he's already up in the readies at 160 or 159. We want to see him get to as close to the top of it as possible. For the sake of demonstration here, I won't force him to go all the way to maximum, but I do want to have him go up to around the middle of the red zone, because what I want to show you afterwards is how we're going to focus on developing recovery after he's hit those highest intensities. So there you go, he's already at 162. When we see him get up to about 165 or 66, we'll go ahead and let him hop off, and I want to show you how we really focus on recovery as well after that. So again, he's still 163, and he's learning how to increase it, obviously. 164. Okay, now again, where this number is going to fall is going to depend on where the person's max heart rate is, and that's going to have to be done through max heart rate testing. 165, almost there. Okay, 160, I came down a little bit, 164, 165, and 166. Okay, now I have him hop off. Okay, so what I'm going to do is slow down. Now what I want to do is 1 minute of heart rate recovery, and I want to see essentially where his heart rate drops. So he started at 164. I want him to assume a nice recovery breathing position. Okay, hands on his knees, slightly rounded back. This is a good recovery breathing position. And I want him focusing on full inhalation and full exhalation. And we can go ahead and just keep track of where his heart rate was. So remember, he started about 163, 164. We're going to give him 1 minute. And again, what we're looking for here is how quickly his heart rate can drop over those 60 seconds. Now, for demonstration purposes, again, we didn't have him go to his true maximum. We had him go up into the red pretty far. But in a true cardiac power output setting, you would want to hit maximum heart rate or at least as close to it as you can get. And then again, by the 60-second heart rate recovery, we're able to see really quickly what his recovery looks like. And you see he's dropping rapidly now. He's already down at 114, 111, 106, 104. So you can see how quickly he's able to drop his heart rate. That's a sign of a well-conditioned athlete. Okay, that's good. And again, you're able to quickly see what kind of condition someone's in by how quickly they can go from their maximum all the way down to, as you saw, he was down at 110 with this recovery breathing technique. So one of the most important elements of conditioning, again, is recovery, and in particular, it's being able to recover from maximum intensity. It doesn't get any higher intensity than cardiac power intervals. So typically, you're only going to do a few repetitions of this. You are going to want to allow for a full rest. So typically, what you'd want to do is a 60-second active recovery, 60-second breathing recovery like that, and then you would simply have them do some sort of light active recovery for another 2 to 3 minutes before repeating that. So some key points here again. Our goal is not just to fatigue him for the sake of fatiguing him. Our goal is to create the right changes in the body by driving to maximum heart rate. And as we're doing that, we can coach his technique, we can coach his mechanics to make sure that he learns how to move effectively and move properly when he's fatigued, and that he learns how to make adjustments. So if we see key things he's doing from a mechanic standpoint, we need to teach him how to be aware of those things so he can self-correct when he is at those higher intensities. So anytime we're using high intensity methods, it's not just about the physical fitness changes, it's also about the technique and movement changes and how to recognize those things on his own rather than us just telling him what to do. So again, that's cardiac power intervals, maximum heart rate, maximum intensity, and it's a great opportunity to develop not just fitness, but movement capacity, mental performance, and everything that goes into be a well-conditioned athlete.